My name is Moses. I'm the leader chosen by God to lead the Hebrews out of the land of Egypt and into the promised land. The reason I called this press conference is to make an important announcement.
Are you speaking about the miracle of getting water out of the rock?
Well, yes, but only incidentally.
Is it true that this is not the first time you performed this miracle?
I have two things to say about that. First of all, it was not I who performed the miracle in either case. It was the Lord God himself. I was only an instrument God chose to do his work. Secondly, while it is true that the Lord performed this miracle about 40 years ago in this same spot,
Can you tell us what spell or incantation you used to induce your God to do this miracle?
I'm trying to explain to you that getting a rock to spew out water was not my idea. It was God's idea. I didn't have to do anything.
But you did something before God made the water flow from the rock, didn't you?
Yes, that's what I was trying to explain to you. The first time we arrived here in this section of the desert 40 years ago, God told me to strike the rock with my walking stick.
How many times?
Excuse me?
How many times did you have to strike the rock in order to get the water to start flowing?
That's what I'm trying to explain to you. Striking the rock did not cause the water to flow. It was God who caused the water to flow. The striking of the rock was merely a signal to the people that something miraculous was about to happen.
According to eyewitness reports of this second miracle, you struck the rock twice. Is that correct?
That's what I did. But what I'm trying to tell you is that I didn't do what God told me to do.
But according to eyewitness reports, the water flowed from the rock anyway.
Yes, that's true. In spite of my disobedience, God gave my people the water they needed when they needed it. He didn't let my people suffer for my disobedience.
Disobedience? How did you disobey?
This time God instructed me to speak to the rock instead of striking it.
Why would God change the instructions?
I guess it's primarily because people tend to be superstitious. When they see me strike the rock and the water flows from the rock, they conclude that the striking is what causes the flowing. God wanted everyone to see that it's the will of God, not some good deed of man, that makes good things happen. That's why God will rarely do the same miracle twice in exactly the same way. Unfortunately, when I repeated what I did last time, I reinforced such superstition among my people. And so now I must suffer the consequences.
Are you saying that God will punish you for striking the rock instead of speaking to it?
That's what I'm saying, and that's why I called this press conference. I'm here to announce that because of my disobedience, God will not allow me to accompany my people when they cross over the Jordan River into the promised land.
Isn't that a harsh penalty for hitting a rock with a stick?
Not at all. When I took on the job of representing God to my people, I took on a very important job. If, as I did with the rock, I misrepresent God or cause people to misunderstand how he works, I'm doing serious long-term damage to man's relationship with God. God cannot allow me to get away with that. Otherwise, people will think it's okay to brush aside other instructions of God as unimportant.
Who will replace you as leader of the Hebrews when they cross the Jordan River into the promised land?
His name is Joshua. For 40 years, he has been my right-hand man and the general of our army. He is very dedicated and capable. He will be a good leader for our people.
Do you have any regrets as you hand over power to your successor?
Yes. It was out of anger that I disobeyed God. I let the impatience of my people irritate me. In my anger, I forgot that God had changed the way he was going to do this miracle. I fell back into old habits. In my anger, I not only failed to follow instructions, I also gave my people the impression that the miracle was as much from me as from God. And now I'm being justly punished for a mistake I made in anger. I hope this is a lesson for you as much as it is for me.
Thank you, Mr. Moses.
Based on a play by Bob Snook. Conditions for use. Do not sell any part of the script, even if you rewrite it.
Pay no royalties, even if you make money from performances.
You may reproduce and distribute this script freely, but all copies must contain this copyright statement.